Hello, dear TGT and PGT candidates. Welcome back to my Grammar for Success channel. I am Koresh Babu, a retired lecturer in English from Hyderabad. In this video, I am going to explain all about the most important grammar rules part 2. I therefore request all of you to watch this video till the end without skipping it in the middle. I also request all of you to consider subscribing to my channel and also sharing this video with all your friends who are also going to take the TGT and PGT examination very shortly. Thank you so much. Now let's get into the video. In this video, I am going to deal with as many as 44 very important grammar rules. Please, if you can understand all of them, if you can learn all of them thoroughly well, that will be of great help and use to you in your forthcoming examination and also for the improvement of your English knowledge. I therefore request all of you to pay a very good attention to what I am teaching you here, right? And you go to the rule 1. Okay, what is this rule 1? Very simple. Everything is made crystal clear for you, so there is nothing very difficult for you to understand. Okay, and here the simple present. Okay, the simple present should be used for the present habits. Okay, for all the present habits you must use only the simple present. Okay, present habits means what all the habits you have and your friends have and your neighbors have. For example, you have a habit of going for a walk in the evening. Okay, you have a habit of watching the Telugu serials. You have a habit of eating vegetarian food. Okay, you have a habit of smoking. You may have so many habits. They are all called present habits, and all those present habits must be expressed in the simple present. And also the universal truths. Universal truths means what all the truths that were true in the past, that are true in the present, and that will be true in the future are called universal truths. For example, the sun rises in the east. Okay, that was true, that is true, that will be true, and that's why that is called a universal truth. So there are so many such universal truths. Okay, and to express these universal truths we must make use of only the simple present. And here general facts are there. What are the general facts? I am a retired lecturer. It's a general fact, whether you believe in that or not. I am a retired lecturer. Okay, so something like that. He is a doctor, she is a nurse. Okay, yes, the school will reopen tomorrow. So what is that? It's a general fact. Okay, right. And here definite near future actions, and what all the future actions that are going to happen, that are going to take place, definitely should also be expressed in the simple present, but not in the simple future, but not in the present continuous. So this is the mistake that we make. We express all these things in the simple or in the present continuous, but in fact we have to express all of them in the simple present. So are you following me? Now let me give you some examples. So this is the mistake we make. Okay, I am giving you the wrong sentences that we frame, we construct. Okay, this is the sentence we speak because we are all non-native speakers of English. So we know, without knowing this rule, we generally say the sun will rise in the east. You think it is correct, others think it is correct, but in fact grammatically speaking that is quite incorrect. So this is a universal truth, and this universal truth should not be expressed in the simple future. Okay, it should be expressed only in the simple present, and therefore your answer must be like this: the sun rises in the east. Not will rise, but rises. Okay, and similarly all other examples will be like that. And here the earth will move around the sun. So it is also a universal truth. Whether you believe in this or not, the earth will be rotating about the sun. That is why it is a universal truth, and that must be expressed in the simple present. And here you pay attention. The earth moves around. So this will is dropped, and later on move will be there. And since it is in the third person singular, we have to add yes to the verb. That is only how we correct these sentences. Okay, and here you pay attention. I will take 10 cups of tea every day. So this is my habit. Okay, it's my present habit, and but I should not express it in the simple future, but I must express it in the simple present. I must say then I take 10 cups of tea every day. All present habits must be expressed only in the simple present. Keep this point in your mind, and if you can learn this rule thoroughly well, and you can never make mistakes, and your knowledge of English will also tremendously improve. I am damn sure about that. Now let us move on to learn other examples. Another sentence is given here. Sugar will taste sweet. That is what we say. We say sugar will taste sweet. Okay? But it is a general fact, isn't it? It's a general fact. Whether you believe in that or not, sugar is always sweet, and you know very well. And here you pay attention to sugar tastes sweet. This is simple. You cannot say sugar will taste sweet, but you have to say sugar tastes sweet. Okay. And one more general truth is given here. Water will boil at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, this is a general truth, and here you should not express it in the simple future, but you have to say water boils. This is in the simple present. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Now, one more example is there. It is indicating definite near future action. Definite near future action. All definite near future actions must be expressed only in the simple present. And here you see the school will reopen tomorrow. Okay, so here you should not say that. Okay, you have to say the school reopens tomorrow. That is that. Right. And one more example is there. I think they will leave for London next week. So this action of leaving for London is going to take place next week, but it is indicated in the simple future, but it is absolutely wrong. And now you have to say they leave. Will is dropped. The simple future should be dropped, and then automatically it will get into the simple present tense. Okay, they leave for London next week. Okay, and now let's move on to the next rule. Rule 2 is there. What is that rule 2? The following verbs are not normally used in the continuous tenses. Okay, they are not normally used in the continuous tenses, but where are they used? They are generally used in other than the continuous tenses, but not in the continuous tenses. What are those verbs? Here you see that I have given a small list of these verbs, and in some other video I have mentioned this rule very elaborately and all that, but here I have mentioned it very briefly. Okay, and here you see, smell, hear, taste, feel. This is one set. These are called verbs of senses. These verbs of senses should not be expressed in the continuous tenses, but they should be expressed either in the simple present or in the simple future or in the simple past. So it is like that. And next, love, like, hate, dislike, wish, fear. So these are called verbs of feeling. Okay, so verbs of senses, verbs of feeling, and here remember, know, believe, forget, understand, trust, think, have, belong, want, possess, cast, owe, waste, sound, notice. All these verbs should never be used in the continuous tenses, but they can be used in other than the continuous tenses. This point you have to understand and keep in mind. And here you pay attention in the examination. These verbs are generally given in the continuous tenses. Okay, and that means this is the sentence we generally speak, because we don't know that these verbs should not be used in the continuous tenses, and that's why we make use of them in the continuous tenses, and that's the mistake. And therefore that is the sentence that is given in the examination also. Here generally we say the flower is smelling good. You should not use this smell. This verb, the verb of sense, should not be used in the continuous tense, but it should be used in the simple present. If it is given in the present continuous, you must change the sentence into simple present. If the sentence is given in the past continuous, you change it into simple past. It is like that. Okay, and here let me give the answer. The flower smells. Is smelling is gone, and smells. Is gone, ing is gone. These two are the features of present continuous, and therefore they should be dropped. And what remains there? Smell. And here it is there, flower. Flower means third person singular. Therefore you say the flower smells, because in the third person singular of the simple present we add yes or es to the verb. That rule you know very well. You know the tenses, and that's why the flower smells good. That's the right one. And here you pay attention. She is having 5 sons. So this have should not be used in the continuous tenses. Okay, all right. And we have to say she has 5 senses. Here, remove the continuous tense features is and ing. So there remains have. Okay, but the third person singular of the simple present, we have to add yes or es to the verb. When you add yes to this verb have, then that becomes a has. Have ఒక yes కలిపితే has అవుతుంది. That is the point you have to understand here. Therefore, you have to say she has 5 sons. Okay, and now you move on to other examples. I am knowing her for a long time. So here the verb knowing is given. This is never used in the continuous tenses. Okay, but it is given in the present continuous. So we have to change it into simple present. So to change it, you remove the present continuous features. What are the present continuous features? Am, is, are. That should be dropped. And ing form, that is. So when these two things are gone, what happens? Now there remains I know. And the remaining sentence. If at all this subject is in the third person singular, you add yes or yes to that. That's a different matter. But here the subject is in the first person singular, and therefore you don't need to add any yes or yes to that verb. Right. And therefore your answer is I know her for a long time. That must be your answer. That must be your sentence. That's what you have to say. Right. And next, the scooter is belonging to me. So this is also a verb of possession, and I should not say the scooter is belonging to me. The factory is belonging to my uncle. Okay, the school is belonging to our neighbor, something like that. Don't use this verb belong in the continuous tense. So drop this present continuous features. Then what happens? The scooter belong. So since it is in the third person singular, you are adding yes to that. I need not tell you that again and again. Please, you know the tenses. Okay, the scooter belongs to me, and here you pay attention. The mother is loving her children very dearly. So here this verb love should never be used in the continuous tenses. That's why in the movies you find that the hero will be saying I love you. He will never say I am loving you. And the heroine is also there. So she never says I am hating you, but she says I hate you, because love and hate, they are the verbs of feelings. And that's why they should not be expressed in the continuous tenses. Right. And here it is given in the present continuous, so they change it into the simple present. So all are given in that way only. And here the mother loves. Is dropped, ing is dropped. There remains love. Since it is in the third person singular, you add yes to that. And therefore the mother loves her children very dearly. Right. And here I am weighing 75 kgs. So this verb weigh is also not used in the continuous tense. Okay. Therefore I am weighing 75 kgs is absolutely wrong. Therefore you have to say I weigh 75 kgs. Okay. One more example is given here. The booklet is consisting of 50 pages. See here, this verb consist is also not used in the continuous tenses. So I gave a big list of these verbs elsewhere in some other video. Okay, please, if you happen to come across that, you learn all those verbs. But here I am giving all of them very briefly and all that. Okay, here this consist verb is there. This is never used in the continuous tense, and therefore you have to express it in the simple present. The booklet consists. Is dropped, ing is dropped, consist remains. Then since it is in the third person singular, you added yes to that, and therefore it becomes the booklet consists of 50 pages. So these wrong sentences are the sentences that we speak in our everyday life, and these the right sentences are the sentences that we are supposed to speak in the everyday life. All wrong sentences are broken English. All right sentences are spoken English. Okay, now let's move on to learn about the next rule. Rule 3 is there. What is this rule 3? Here you pay attention. The simple past should be used with the past time words like. So these are all the past time words. With these past time words, you must make use of only the simple past. What are the past time words means? Ago. Ago means a week ago, a month ago, two years ago, kritam, that is the Telugu meaning. Yesterday, past time word. Yesterday morning, past time word. Yesterday afternoon, last evening, last night, last week, last month, last year, last Sunday, in 1996 or in 2024. Whatever it is, whatever the time that passes by, that is called the past time. So with the past tense or with the past tense indicating words, you must use only simple past, but not the present perfect tense. That means in the examination, the present perfect is used with all the past tense indicating words. That is the mistake generally we make. We make use of all these past tense indicating words with the present perfect. Okay, and therefore we must not make use of this present perfect with these words. You have to use only the simple past. And here you pay attention very quickly. My father has gone to Chennai last night. So the action happened last night. So this is a past action, and therefore this past action must be indicated in the simple past. So here you say that, okay, my father went. Okay, has present perfect feature is gone. Gone past tense is went, and therefore my father went to Chennai last night. And similarly, I have seen the film yesterday. So the action of seeing the film happened yesterday. This is the past action, and therefore you have to say, I saw the film yesterday, right? And he has married Sheila in 2018. Our example girl, he has married Sheila. That's the past action, and that's why you have to say, he married Sheila in 2018, right? And now you move on to other examples. Rule 4 is there. The present perfect continuous tense should be used with since plus point of time, for plus period of time, and how long, but not present continuous. Please remember that with since plus point of time, for plus period of time, and how long, we must use only the present perfect continuous tense, but not the present continuous tense. That does mean in the examination, the examiner will give the sentences with since plus point of time, for plus period of time, and how long, only with the present continuous. And you have to replace this present continuous by this present perfect continuous tense. Okay, and here you pay attention. He is doing the homework since 8 o'clock. So this is indicating that he is not doing the work right now, but he has been doing it since 8 o'clock. 8 గంటల నుండి చేస్తూనే ఉన్నాను. While teaching the tenses, your teacher must have given you the Telugu meaning also, because I have given my students the Telugu meaning also. He is doing the homework means అతను homework చేస్తూ ఉన్నాడు అంటే ఇప్పుడు he has been doing the homework means అతను homework చేస్తూనే ఉన్నాడు. అలా అన్నప్పుడు ఎప్పటి నుంచో అనే ఫీలింగ్ నీలో తప్పక కలుగుతుంది. అంటే ఎప్పుడో మొదలై అప్పటి నుంచి జరుగుతూనే ఉన్నటువంటి అలాంటి పనులను తెలపడానికి ప్రజెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్ టెన్స్ ను వాడవలే అని మా పిల్లలకు నేను అలా చెప్పాను. పిల్లలు అందుకే బందోబస్తుగా నేర్చుకున్నారు. ఏది నేర్చుకున్నా నా దగ్గర. దట్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఫోర్ ఇది he is doing the homework since 8 o'clock. Action started at 8 o'clock in the morning, but it is 6 o'clock this evening. Okay, and therefore a blind rule is there. With these things, you must use only present perfect continuous tense. అందుకే బండ గుర్తు ఏంటంటే వీటితోని ఇదే వాడండి, ఇది వాడొద్దని చెప్పడం. ఎందుకు అంటే ఇది ప్రజెంట్ కంటిన్యూస్ ఇప్పుడు జరుగుతున్న విషయాలు చెప్పడానికి వాడతాం, ఇది ఎప్పటి నుంచో జరుగుతున్న విషయాలు చెప్పడానికి వాడుతుంటాం. దట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్. అండ్ హియర్ he has been doing homework since 8 o'clock. He is doing, but he has been doing. They are working in this college for the last 10 years. That means they started working in this college 10 years ago. From that time onwards, they have been working and working and working and working, and now 10 years have passed by. Long action. So here they are working, you don't say, but you have to say they have been working in this college for the last 10 years. And remember, with since plus point of time and with the for plus period of time, you should not use present continuous, but you have to use present perfect continuous tense. Please keep this point in your mind, right? And you go to the next rule. Rule 5 is there. The verb call is not followed by as. See, most of the educated people, not only the students, but educated people will be making this kind of mistake, that is using as after this verb call. They say Tagore wrote a book of poems called as Gitanjali. Don't say called as. Rabindranath Tagore wrote a book of poems called Gitanjali. That is enough. Don't say Rabindranath Tagore wrote a book of poems called as Gitanjali. Why are you using as? No, that's a bad English, that's a broken English, and that's why, don't use as after this call. And here you pay attention. She called him as a fool. She called him as a fool. Don't use as after this call. You have to simply say, she called him a fool. That's enough. Okay, your English is improving now. Now you understand what to say and what not to say. I don't know whether this is going to be given in the examination or not, but you are learning some grammar. You are learning some spoken English. Good English you are learning. That is there. Okay. And now let's move on to other rules. Rule 6 is there. What is that rule 6? The verbs discuss, describe, order, stress, marry, meet, tell, attend. Please keep all these verbs in your mind. Okay. And here these verbs are not followed by the prepositions. So these verbs are not followed by the prepositions in, on, at, by, with, from, since, for. All such prepositions are not used after these verbs. Generally are in the habit of using these prepositions wrongly. We should not use them after discuss, about, after describe, about, after order, for, after stress, on, after marry, with, after meet, with, after tell, to, after attend to. So these are wrongly used because we are all non-native speakers of English. So that's why we make this kind of mistake, but that should be avoided. Okay, here you pay attention. He described about his journey. After described, about is used here. That is meaningless and that is bad. But in this verb describe, the meaning of this preposition already is there. And therefore you have to say, he described his journey. Now you move on to the next example. I have ordered for 4 plates of puri. So the meaning of this preposition for is already in this word ordered. And therefore again using this preposition after this is a bad thing, meaningless thing. And therefore you have to say, I have ordered 4 plates of puri. And next, many students have attended to the meeting. So the meaning of this preposition to is already there in this verb attend. Then why using to after that? It's meaningless. Therefore, you have to say, many students have attended the meeting. Okay, he has married with Geeta. The meaning of this preposition with is already in this word marry. Then why using this with after this? That's meaningless. And therefore, you have to say, he has married Geeta. Okay, this is a very important rule. Okay, now you move on to the next rule. A few more examples are given here. I am going to meet with my friend. So the meaning of this with is already in this verb meet. And therefore, and again, with should not be used after that. And therefore, you have to say, I am going to meet my old friend. That itself is enough. Now you go to the rule 7. What does this rule 7 say? When the verb enter means to go in some place, enter means to go in some place. Whenever it means so, it is not followed by the preposition into. Whenever it is used in the sense of this, going into class, going into the hall, going into the dining hall, going to the theater. So here, whenever it means this, it should not be used with the preposition into. So here you pay attention. He entered into the hall. So here, what is he doing? He is entering the hall. So it is used in the sense of to go in some place, and therefore after this you should not use any preposition and you should say he entered the hall. So this is the general mistake we make in our everyday life. Okay, you have to be very careful. So here one example is enough for that, and you go to the rule number 8. But when enter means to make oneself a part of something. That means when you make some contract, when you make some agreement, when you just go into some public life. So that is, these are not the places. Okay, so when you become yourself a party of something, then you can use into. How? Here you pay attention. He entered into an agreement. So he did not enter the classroom or any cinema theater, but he entered into an agreement. Oka oppandam kudurchukonu. Enter means praveshinchu. Enter into means kudurchukonu. Agreement kudurchukonu. Contract kudurchukonu. So something like that. He entered into an agreement with the company. And here we should enter into public life. So we have to just get into the public life. Enter into. This is not the place. Public life is not the place. So here place అయినట్టయితే ఎంటర్ తర్వాత ఇంటూ వాడకూడదు. అలా కాకుండా అంటే ఒక అగ్రిమెంట్ లోకి ప్రవేశించిన, ఒక కాంట్రాక్ట్ లోకి, ఒక జనరల్ పబ్లిక్ లైఫ్ లోకి ప్రవేశించిన, ఇటువంటి ప్రవేశాన్ని చెప్పడానికి you have to use the preposition into. He entered into an agreement. Okay, we should enter into public life. Okay, and here you should not enter into a contract. ఇలా అగ్రిమెంట్లు పబ్లిక్ లైఫ్ కాంట్రాక్ట్లు ప్రవేశిస్తే ఎంటర్ ఇంటూ అనాలి, అదే చోటు అయినట్టయితే ఎంటర్ మాత్రమే అనాలి. ప్లీజ్ కీప్ దీస్ టూ థింగ్స్ ఇన్ యువర్ మైండ్. ద examiner might confuse you by giving any one of the things in the examination, right? And here you should not enter into a contract without studying its provisions carefully, right? Whatever it is, this is all about enter into, this is only about enter. Okay, right? Keep these two rules in your mind, and now you move on to other rules. Rule 9 is there. The verbs bid, let, make, see, help, suggest. So you please keep all these verbs in your mind. They are followed by only a plain infinitive, but not by a to infinitive. You know that what a to infinitive is. If you use to before a base form verb, go is a base form verb, eat is a base form verb, sleep is a base form verb, drink is a base form verb. So these are all base form verbs. Whenever you use to before them, that becomes a to infinitive. But whenever you drop that to before them, that is called a plain infinitive. Remember, after these verbs, okay, a plain infinitive is used, but not the to infinitive, because that is the mistake we make. Okay, right? And here you pay attention. His father does not let Mohan to go. Here let is the verb. After let, to infinitive should not be there. To infinitive is given here, therefore this is wrong. What should be there? Plain infinitive. Plain infinitive means without to is called the plain infinitive. His father does not let Mohan go. Are you following me? To go is a to infinitive, and now go is a plain infinitive, right? And similarly, two more examples are given here. The teacher made the boys to clean the room. So after the verb made also, make, made, whatever may be the forms, after this verb make, you should not use a to infinitive, but a plain infinitive, and therefore you have to say the teacher made the boys clean the room. Similarly, my neighbor helps me to solve this problem. After this verb help also, to infinitive should not be used, but only a plain infinitive. And here you pay attention. My neighbor helps me solve this problem. And I think one more example is given here. I have seen her to go to a pub. Okay, and after this verb you should not use what, a to infinitive, but a plain infinitive. I have seen her go to a pub. So in this way, after these verbs, you should not use a to infinitive, but only a plain infinitive. Okay, now let's move on to the next rule. Rule 10 is there. What is this rule 10? Had better is followed by a plain infinitive, but not a to infinitive. Again, this had better is there. This had better is used to make suggestions to others. And therefore, after this had better, you should not use a to infinitive, but only a plain infinitive. How? Let me give you one example to make you understand this. We had better to go early. Don't say after this had better to go to infinitive. What should you say? We had better go early. You had better consult a doctor. You had better work hard. You had better sleep early. You had better wake up early. After had better is generally used to make suggestions to the people. And therefore, after had better, you should not use a to infinitive, but only a plain infinitive. Keep this rule in your mind, and you go to the next rule. Rule 11 is there. What is the rule 11? So while talking about the age, so when you are talking about the age, what you should say and what you should not say, let us see that here. Okay, he is running 18. Generally, when somebody asks your father, how old is your son? Then your father casually says, my son is running 18 now. My daughter is running 16 now. And my son is running 17 now. Something like that he will be saying. My son is running 20 now. So generally, it is like that. He makes use of this word, verb now, run. He is running 18. He is running 20. He is running 30. Something like that. So when you are talking about the age, don't make use of this kind of expression, running or walking or jumping. Okay, that is bad English, broken English. Now you have to say he is 18. That itself is enough. He is 18. How old is your son? He is 18. That's enough. But you should not say he is running 18. He is running 20. It's all meaningless English. Okay. And you go to the next one. One more wrong sentence is given. She is 16 years. Don't say. So one mistake is running 18, running 20. That kind of mistake we make. So this should be avoided. We have to directly say like this. He is 18. He is 20. He is 30. He is 40. Whatever it is. And another mistake also we make while talking about the age. What is that? She is 16 years. How old is your daughter? As she is 16 years. Don't say 16 years. This is bad English. What should you say then? You have to say she is 16 years old. Without this word old, you cannot simply say she is 16 years. You have to say she is 16 years old. That's very important. Okay. You can also say she is 16 years of age. Also you can say. And otherwise you can simply say she is 16. But you should not say 16 years. This is a mistake done because of the Telugu impact. Okay, right. And here, this is what you should say while talking about the age. Okay, now you move on to the next rule. Rule 12 is there. What is this rule 12? So, to pass means to spend the time casually. To spend means to while away the time joyfully. To while away means to spend again. To while away the time joyfully. ఆనందంగా కాలం గడిపితే స్పెండ్ అంటావు, మామూలుగా కాలం గడిపితే పాస్ అంటాం. ఇంకో మరి నువ్వు టైం ఎలా గడుపుతున్నావో నీకే తెలుసు. రైట్. అండ్ హియర్ యు పే అటెన్షన్. We will pass a week in Ooty this summer. See, after going to Ooty, will you pass your time or spend your time? He won't pass the time. He will spend the time. Okay, that's why pass a week. He will pass a week. No, this is wrong. You have to say he will spend a week. Okay. Rule 13 is there. What is that? Till is used for time. Till is used for time, not for place. This is not used for place. It is used only for time. And to can be used both for time and for place. So therefore, here it's an important rule. So we walk till the stadium. See, till should not be used with the place, because it does not indicate a place. It is not used with place. It is used only with time. And therefore, you have to say, we walk to the stadium. To can be used for the time and place. Therefore, you have we walk to the stadium. That's correct. We cannot say till that stadium. ఎటు పోతున్నారా? ఇక్కడ కాలేజ్ వరకు వేస్తారా? కాలేజ్ వరకు. దట్స్ ద తెలుగు ఇంపాక్ట్. ఎక్కడికి వెళ్తున్నారా? ఇక్కడ కాలేజ్ వరకు వెళ్ళొస్తారా? కాలేజ్ వరకు అన్నప్పుడు వరకు అంటే ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఏమిటి? టిల్. ఓకే, ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టిల్ ద కాలేజ్. అలా వాడు ట్రాన్స్లేట్ చేసుకొని చెప్తుంటాడు. దట్ ఈస్ ద తెలుగు ఇంపాక్ట్. సో దట్స్ ద తెలుగు. వీ వాక్డ్ టిల్ ద స్టేడియం. మేము స్టేడియం వరకు నడిచాము. స్టేడియం వరకు కాదు, స్టేడియంకు నడిచాము. వీ వాక్ టు ద స్టేడియం. దిస్ ద రైట్ వన్. అండ్ హియర్ యు పే అటెన్షన్. రూల్ 14 is there. To should not be used in the sense of very. So 14th rule says that you should not use to in the sense of very. Of course, in the spoken English it is okay. Too much of anything is too bad. Too much of anything is too bad. So that is there. But too much అనే మాట వాడుతుంటాం. But here generally, you cannot say like that. Here's this book is too interesting. Don't say too interesting. You must say this book is very interesting. This film is very interesting. This novel is very interesting. Okay, right. And now you move on to other rules. Rule 15 is there. What is that? Hang in the sense of putting somebody to death has hanged forms. So this hang has got two meanings. One is to put somebody to death. Whenever it means so, then the past tense form is hanged. The past participle form is also hanged. హ్యాంగ్ అనే దానికి అర్థము ఉరివేయుట అని అర్థం వచ్చినట్టయితే దాని యొక్క ఫార్మ్స్ హ్యాంగ్డ్ గా ఉండాలి. ఇఫ్ ఎట్ ఆల్ ఇఫ్ దిస్ హ్యాంగ్ మీన్స్ టు ఫ్యాజన్ సంథింగ్ ఆన్ ద వాల్, ఒక గోడకు ఒక దాన్ని వేలాడదీయుట అనే మీనింగ్ వచ్చినట్టయితే దెన్ ఇట్స్ పాస్ట్ టెన్స్ ఫార్మ్ ఈజ్ హంగ్ అండ్ పాస్ట్ పార్టిసిపల్ ఫార్మ్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో హంగ్. ఈ హ్యాంగ్ యొక్క మీనింగ్ ఇదైతే ఫార్మ్స్ అవి, హ్యాంగ్ యొక్క మీనింగ్ ఇదైతే ఫార్మ్స్ ఇవి. Right. And here you pay attention. He was hung for murder. Okay. For murder. హత్య చేసినందుకు వాడిని వేలాడదీస్తారా, ఉరిదీస్తారా? Wrong verb is used here. What should we do then? He was hanged for murder. That is there. That means in the place of this is used. In the place of this is used. That is only the thing that happens. If you know the rule correctly, no problem. She hanged the calendar on the wall. షీ హ్యాంగ్డ్ ద క్యాలెండర్ ఆన్ ద వాల్. ఆమె గోడ మీద ఆ క్యాలెండర్ను ఉరివేసింది. ఉరివేస్తారా వేలాడదీస్తారా? హ్యాంగ్డ్ వాడద్దు. What should you do then? She hung the calendar on the wall. So this is a very important rule. It's all confusion, right? And you go to the next one. Rule 16 is that the verb to pass means to while away the time. And the phrase to pass away means to die. Pass means to while away the time casually. Pass. Time no gaduputa. And to pass away means what? To die. Chanipovuta. She reads the novels to pass away the time. ఏమయ్యా నవలు చదివేది ఆమె చనిపోవడం కోసమా? She reads the novels to pass away the time. Don't say pass away. So you have to say she reads the novels to pass the time. So these are all very, very important rules. If you learn all of them thoroughly well, your knowledge of English will expand like anything. Your knowledge of English will improve tremendously. Okay, you are learning all these things now. I don't know whether you have learned all of them earlier or not, but now I am teaching you all of them. I am just bringing all the things that you have learned long back to your mind now in one video. And now you move on to other rules. Rule 17 is there. What is that? The verb await is a transitive verb, and as such it is not followed by for. This await, the verb await, nirikshinchu, edirichuchu. This verb await is a transitive verb, and therefore it is not followed by for. But the verb wait is there, it is followed by for, because it is an intransitive verb. This is a transitive verb and this is an intransitive verb. A transitive verb doesn't take the preposition after it, but an intransitive verb can take the preposition after it. Therefore, after this await, okay, await, for is not used, but after this wait, for is used. Please keep these two things in your mind. And here we are awaiting for the bus. The meaning of this for is already in this await, and therefore don't again use this for after this. That is the mistake. And here to correct it, what do? We are awaiting the bus. That is enough. And you can also say we are waiting for the bus. Awaiting means waiting for. So any one of them you can say, right? You go to the 18th rule. The verb enjoy is a transitive verb and it is usually followed by an object. If an object is not followed, a self pronoun must be used to fill its gap. So this is also an important rule because this enjoy is there. Okay, this enjoy is a transitive verb. It always takes an object after it. And to find out the object, we have to question this verb with what? Okay. If there is an object, it is well and good. If at all there is no object after this verb, then you have to use a self pronoun to fill up the gap of that object. And here a pattern, we enjoyed it during the holidays. Now check whether there is an object or not. We enjoyed what? Is it there here? No. When during the holidays, then it is an adverb phrase. For the question of what, you are not getting any answer to this, and therefore now you understand that the verb enjoy is not following any object after it, and therefore it is a wrong sentence. How to correct it means here you pay attention. We enjoyed ourselves. What is the subject here? We. So the self pronoun must be used. For we use ourselves. For he, himself. She, herself. I, myself. You, yourself. Something like that. Now the gap is filled. Okay, the problem is fixed. Okay, now we enjoyed ourselves during the holidays. So this is a very important rule. Please keep it in your mind. And now you move on to other rules. Rule 19 is there. What is this rule 19? Here means to listen to something casually, and listen to means to listen to something attentively. So here means hearing something casually, and listen to means listening to something attentively, carefully. So therefore these two verbs must be differentiated very carefully. Okay, while you are walking along the road, many sounds will be entering your ears. So that means you hear all those sounds. But here listen to means when you listen to something carefully. Therefore I will be saying, please listen to me. I don't say, please hear me. Did I ever say that? Please listen to me. So here this is different from this. Therefore in the examination, so one is given for the other. That is that when I speak, you must hear me. When I speak, do you just hear me? No. What do you say then? When I speak, you must listen to me. Right. And here, rule 20 is there. The right verbs to indicate speech are deliver and make, but not give. To mention this speech, the verbs used are deliver and make. Whenever somebody is making a speech, you have to you have to use either this verb or this verb. Narendra Modi is delivering a speech. Narendra Modi is making a speech. For this speech, you have to use only any one of these verbs, but not this. You cannot say Narendra Modi is giving a speech. Chandrababu Naidu is giving a speech. Don't say giving. The verb give is not used for speech. You use either deliver or make. To express certain things, certain verbs are only used. And here you pay attention. The president gave a speech on the Republic Day. So, gave a speech. Do you use this verb give with speech? No. You use either deliver or make. And therefore, you have to say, the president delivered a speech or made a speech on the Republic Day. Please, this is also an important rule. Please keep it in your mind. And now, let's move on to other rules. Rule 21. What is this rule 21? The right verbs to indicate lecture are deliver and give, but not make. So for this lecture, you can use the verb deliver or give, but not make. For this lecture, don't use the verb make. You use either deliver or give. He is giving a lecture, okay. He is delivering a lecture, okay. But he is making a lecture is not the right one. Lecture అయితే ఇదన్న వాడు కానీ ఇది వాడదు. Speech అయితే ఇదన్న వాడు ఇది వాడదు. Something like that. So you have to learn with efforts. Whatever you learn, you must learn with efforts. Then only you can learn that solidly. అట్లా ప్రయత్నం మీద నేర్చుకుంటే మస్తు వస్తుంది ఇంగ్లీష్. నీకు ఆ ప్రయత్నమే లేదు, ఎగ్జామ్ కోసం ప్రిపేర్ అవుతున్నాం అంతే. ఇప్పుడు నేర్చుకుంటే ఏం చేస్తావు? ఏదో ఎగ్జామ్ ద్వారా చూస్తున్నావు, లేకుంటే వీటి ముఖం కూడా చూస్తావా అసలు? ఇంతకుముందు చాలా వీడియోలు చేశాను. హ్యాస్ ఎనీబడి వాచ్డ్ ద వీడియోస్? నౌ యు ఆర్ ఆల్ వాచింగ్ దెమ్ బికాస్ యు ఆర్ ఇన్ నీడ్ ఆఫ్ దాట్. అట్లా చేస్తే ఏముంది, అందులో రేపు పొద్దున టీచర్ అయితే పొరగాళ్ళకి ఏం చెప్పకుండా జీతం దొబ్బుతావా ఏంది? అట్లా చేస్తే మాత్రం పాపం తగులుతాయి. యూ మస్ట్ టీచ్ యువర్ స్టూడెంట్స్ సాలిడ్లీ. When you are taking salary from the government, you must teach them solidly. You work hard at home. You prepare. ఈ వయసులో చెప్పడానికి కూడా I prepare for some time. ఇవన్నీ ముందు మనసులో అనుకొని బాగా అనుకొని ఓవరాల్గా రిహార్సల్ చేసుకొని మీ ముందుకు వస్తాను. అంత సీన్ లేదు. అంటే ఆ భయం ఉంటే యూ కెన్ టీచ్ ద థింగ్స్ సాలిడ్లీ. And the students will become very much pleased with your teaching. And they love you very much. And here, this is there. And let me give you one example. Mohan is making a lecture. Now, Mohan is delivering a lecture, okay? Giving a lecture. Any one of them is correct. And here, rule 22 is there. Due to means caused by. Due to means caused by. It is not used at the beginning of a sentence. This due to, caused by. Okay, it is not used at the beginning of a sentence. Keep this point in your mind. Most of you are making this kind of mistake. So it is not used at the beginning of a sentence because it is usually preceded by the verb. That means it comes only after the verb, not before the verb. ఒకటే బండ గుర్తు. డ్యూ టు అనేది వెర్బుకు ముందు రాదు, వెర్బుకు తర్వాత వస్తుంది. These two words convey the same meaning as this. Then you can use any one of them at the beginning or at the end, in the middle, wherever you can use them. But this is there. This is used only after the verb, not before the verb, at the beginning of the sentence. Okay. And here you pay attention. Due to his illness, he was absent. So, wrong. You have to say, he was absent, verb is here. Due to his illness. This is correct. And you can also say, owing to or because of his illness. This is okay. Owing to you can use, because of you can use, but due to you cannot use at the beginning of the sentence. It is always used after the verb. Please keep this point in your mind. And now you move on to other rules. Rule 23rd is there. Cost means expenditure incurred to produce an article. That is cost. So whatever the expenditure that is incurred to produce some article, some product, then that is called cost. Okay, that expenditure is called cost. But here price and rate is there. That is the market offer. In the market, you come across only the price and rate, but not the cost. But most of you go to the shop and say, what is the cost of this pen? Cost means it refers to the expenditure incurred to produce that. ఆ వస్తువును తయారు చేయుటకు అయిన ఖర్చును చెప్పేది కాస్ట్. మరి మార్కెట్లో అమ్మడానికి పెట్టిన ఆ ధరను దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ప్రైస్ ఆర్ రేట్. మరి షాప్లోకి వెళ్ళి కాస్ట్ అంటే వాడేం చెప్తాడు, దాన్ని ఎంత ఎంత ఎంతకు ఉత్పత్తి చేశాడు అంటే, ఇన్ డైరెక్ట్లీ స్పీకింగ్ కాస్ట్ మీన్స్ ఉత్పత్తి ధర, ప్రైస్ మీన్స్ ఆ రేట్ మీన్స్ అమ్మకం ధర. సో దేర్ ఫోర్ ఇన్ ద షాప్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఆస్క్ ద షాప్ కీపర్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ ద ప్రైస్ ఆఫ్ ద ఆర్టికల్ ఆర్ ద రేట్ ఆఫ్ ద ఆర్టికల్, బట్ డోంట్ సే కాస్ట్. ఓకే, రైట్. అండ్ హియర్ యూ పే అటెన్షన్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద బుక్? Wrong. But most of the students, most of the educated people will be using this word in their everyday life, right? And here, what is the price of that book? What is the rate of the book? Okay. And you go to the next rule, rule 24. The verb bring means to get the thing from its respective place. Bring means what? To get the thing from its respective place. But here, this fetch is there. Fetch means to go and bring. ఇక్కడ నుంచి వెళ్ళి అక్కడున్న వస్తువు తీసుకురావడాన్ని ఫెచ్ అంట. పోయి తీసుకురావడం. బ్రింగ్ మీన్స్ తేవడం. బ్రింగ్ ఎ పీస్ ఆఫ్ చాక్. బట్ యు ఆర్ ఇన్ ద క్లాస్, యు ఆర్ ఆస్కింగ్ సమ్ స్టూడెంట్ ఫర్ ద పీస్ ఆఫ్ చాక్. What do you say? Fetch me a piece of chalk. Here, go and fetch me a glass of it. But don't say like this, because fetch itself means go and bring. When that is the case, why using this go? Therefore, you are saying, fetch me a glass of water. Hey, fetch me a glass of water. పోయి తీసుకురాపో అంటే ఇక్కడ కూర్చున్న వాళ్ళు వాడు పోయి కిచెన్లోకి పోయి గ్లాస్ నీళ్ళు తీసుకొని నీకు ఇస్తాడు. సో ఫెచ్ మీ ఏ గ్లాస్ ఆఫ్ వాటర్, బట్ డోంట్ సే గో అండ్ ఫెచ్ మీ ఏ గ్లాస్ ఆఫ్ వాటర్. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో ఎ వెరీ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ రూల్. అండ్ యూ గో టు ద నెక్స్ట్ రూల్, రూల్ 25. ద ఫ్రేజర్ వెర్బ్ లుక్ అప్ షుడ్ బి యూజ్డ్ టు search for the word in the dictionary. So whenever you want to search for some word in the dictionary, you have to use this phrasal verb look up. What is the teacher saying? Please look up the word in the dictionary. Look up the word means what? Please search for the word in the dictionary. So here, look this word in the dictionary. Don't look this. Look this word in the dictionary is wrong. You have to say, look up this word in the dictionary. Don't say simply look this word, but you say look up this word. Okay, right. And now you move on to other rules. Rule 26. The verb prefer is not followed by than, but by to. So please, you look at this. Prefer is there. After this prefer, than is not followed, but to is followed. Keep this point in your mind. Prefer means to wish for. So here, I would prefer tea than coffee. After prefer, very important from the examination point of view. I would prefer tea than coffee. You should not use than after prefer. You should say, I would prefer tea to coffee. Okay, that's very important. You go to the next rule, 27th one. The verb invite is not followed by for, but by to. So this word invite is not followed by for, but by to. That means, after invite, okay, after invite, for is not used, but only to is used. So this is the mistake we make, and this is the right thing we have to learn and we have to practice. So let me give you one example. He invited me for dinner. Invited me for dinner. Don't say for dinner. After invited, you should not use the preposition for. What should you use? He invited me to dinner. That is very important. And you go to the next rule, 28th one. The verb die is not followed by from, but by of. So the verb die is not followed by from, but by of. What is that? So after this verb die, from is not followed, but only of is used. Okay, and here you pay attention. He died from cancer. Don't say died from. What should you say? He died of cancer. This is very important. Now you move on to other rules. Rule 29 is there. The word good is not followed by in, but by at. So remember, this word good is not followed by in, but by at. Good at. Good at means proficient in. Pravinyata gala, nipunata gala. That's the Telugu meaning. So here, very important. Okay, he is good in physics. He is good in physics is bad. Okay, you have to say he is good at physics, right? And you go to the next rule. Rule 30th is there. By the telephone is a wrong expression. By the telephone is a wrong expression. By telephone, the is dropped here. On the telephone is a right expression. Okay, please keep this point in your mind. I contacted him by the telephone. Don't say by the telephone. You simply say I contacted him on the telephone or by telephone. Anyone you can say. They look to be some silly mistakes, but they are very important mistakes. Right. And here you go to the 31st rule. The adjective angry is not followed by on or upon, but only with. After angry, we should not use on or upon. దిస్ ఈజ్ అగైన్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద తెలుగు ఇంపాక్ట్. నీ మీద నాకు కోపంగా ఉంది, మీద అంటాంగా, కాబట్టి మీద అంటే ఆన్. ఓకే, ఐఎమ్ యాంగ్రీ ఆన్ యూ అంటాడు. దిస్ ద తెలుగు ఇంపాక్ట్. తెలుగులో ఇంగ్లీష్లోకి ట్రాన్స్లేట్ చేస్తే ఇలా ఉంటుంది మరి. సో దేర్ ఫోర్ ఐఎమ్ యాంగ్రీ ఆన్ యూ. డోంట్ యూజ్ ఆన్ ఆర్ అపాన్ ఆఫ్టర్ యాంగ్రీ, బట్ ఓన్లీ విత్. సో హియర్ యూ పే అటెన్షన్. షీ ఈజ్ యాంగ్రీ అపాన్ మీ. నో. అండ్ హియర్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు సే హీ ఈజ్ యాంగ్రీ విత్ మీ. డోంట్ బీ యాంగ్రీ విత్ మీ. యాంగ్రీ విత్ మీ మీన్స్ నా ఎడల కోపముగా ఉండకు, నా ఎడల. రైట్. అండ్ నౌ యూ మూవ్ ఆన్ టు అదర్ రూల్స్. రూల్ 32. What is this rule 32? In the radio, in the TV are wrong expressions. Okay. On or over the radio, on TV are right expressions. Okay. In the radio, in the TV. Most of you say in the radio, in the TV. I'm watching the cricket match in the TV, you say. Don't say in the TV. You have to say on TV. But we can say in A or the TV show, on A or the TV show. So this you can say. Please, important, keep this point in your mind. And here you pay attention. I first saw her on a TV show. This is okay. The correct one. On a TV show. On a TV show, show is there. On a TV show, on the TV show. If it is particular, you say on the TV show. If it is not particular, then you say on a TV show. And here you pay attention. We listen to the president's speech in the radio. We listen to the president's speech in the radio. Don't say in the radio, but what should you say? We listen to the president's speech on or over the radio. On the radio or over the radio, but never say in the radio, right? And you go to the next example. They are watching the cricket match in the TV. Don't say in the TV. That is a wrong expression. They are watching the cricket match on TV. In the TV is a wrong expression. On TV is a right expression. Please keep these important things in your everyday life, because they are very, very important in your everyday life. Now you move on to other rules. And rule 33rd is there. What is the 33rd rule? The is not used before the time expressions beginning with the last and the next. That means here you pay attention. Some time expressions are there. Friday is a time expression. Okay. Week is there. Okay. Month is there. Okay. And year is there. So these are all time expressions when they are preceded by last or next. Okay. When they are preceded by these two words, then you cannot use the. For example, you pay attention. The director comes here the next week. So here the next week is wrong. What should you say then? The director comes here next week. Next week itself is enough. Why saying the next week? Right. And here he came here the last night. So night is the time expression and the last is used here, and then you should not use here. So therefore he came here last night. That itself is enough. And here I saw a beggar the last Monday. Monday is a time expression. It is preceded by last, and the is used unnecessarily. Then you have to say I saw a beggar last Monday. So here before these time expressions, when last or next used, you should not use this definite article the before them. Okay. Now these are all the examples. Okay. One more sentence is also given here. They will complete the project the next year. Okay. They will complete the project. Next year itself is enough, not the next year. So in this way, these are all the time expressions. Before these time expressions, when last and next are used, you should not use before them the definite article the. And now you move on to other rules. Rule 34. What is this rule 34? The verb return means to give something back. Okay. To give something back is called return. So the meaning of back is there in this. As such, it is never followed by the word back again. It is because this word back is already in this word return. And therefore, with this return, again you should not use the word back. So some students are using that. Here you see, the child returned back all the pictures. So the meaning of this back is already in this. And why using this back again here? That is therefore a meaningless thing. Okay. And here the child returned all the pictures. And you go to the 35th rule. What is this rule 35? The preposition between is followed by and. Okay. But not by to. That means between, okay, is followed by and not by to. Okay. And here the preposition from is followed by to. From is followed by to and not by and. Okay. But not and. Please keep these two things in your mind. Between is followed by and but not by to. From is followed by to but not by and. Okay. Please keep this point in your mind. And now in the examination, what happens? Let us see. The test will be held between 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Between is always followed by and, but here it is given to, and therefore it is a mistake. And you have to say the test will be held between 10 a.m. and 12 noon. Okay, you take another example. The test will be held from 10 a.m. and 12 noon. So from is followed by and here. Therefore, this is a mistake. From is never followed by and. It is followed only by to. And therefore, you have to say the test will be held from 10 a.m. to 12. So here between is followed by and, from is followed by to, but unnecessarily from is given with and, between is given with to. So that kind of mistake is given in the examination to confuse you, right? And now you move on to other important rules. Rule 36. What is that? If the main clause is in the past tense, the ensuing subordinate clause must also be in the relevant past tense. That means if there is past tense in the main clause, in the succeeding subordinate clause also, there must be used only the relevant past tense. That is the rule here. Very, very, very important from your examination point of view, right? And here you pay attention. We thought this is the main clause. It is in the simple past. Okay. And but here can is there, that you can solve the problem. This sentence is in the present tense. It is in the past tense. It is in the present tense. Therefore, there is no balance in the sentence. And therefore, to set right the balance, what should you do? We thought that you could solve the problem. Past tense, no problem. Balance is over. Right. You take one more example. He did not notice, simple past tense, that the motor is coming. Okay, wrong, because it is in the past tense. Main clause is in the past tense, and the subordinate clause is in the present continuous. That's bad. So it should also be in the relevant past tense. So that means he did not notice that the motor was coming. Rule 37 is there. Very important rule. Please keep it in your mind. Expressions indicating amount, measurement, distance, length, etc. take a singular verb after them. So many rules are combined here. No, not taking all the rules from one section, but from different sections. Different important rules are gathered here in this video, right? And here expressions indicating amount, measurement, distance, length take a singular verb. So the expressions indicating amount, measurement, length, distance will take only a singular verb after them. Here how? Let us see that 10 kilometers, it is the distance. Okay, this is a distance indicating expression, but plural helping verb is used here. Now you have to say 10 kilometers is a long distance. Okay, right. Always keep this is also an important one, very important from your examination point of view, right? 5,000 rupees are not a big amount. So 5,000 rupees. So here it is amount. So whether it is an amount indicating expression, measurement indicating expression, distance indicating expression, length indicating expression, all these expressions will take only a singular verb after them. So you have to say therefore 5,000 rupees is not a big amount. Okay, and now you move on to other rules. Rule 38 is there. Sentences beginning with as, since, because are not followed by so. This is there. Okay, whenever the sentence begins with as, or, since, or, because, what is that? Again, so should not be used here. And here, as, since, because he was late. So, when the sentence begins with any one of them, again, so should not be used. If it is used, it should be dropped. Okay. Since, as, because he was late, I scolded him. Right. And you go to the next rule, rule 39. In the adverbial clauses of time, and condition. Only the simple present tense should be used, but not simple future tense. So about this rule, I have given an elaborate idea in some other video, but here I am also going to give you some idea very briefly. Here you pay attention. Some time indicating conjunctions are there. What are they? So I write them: be, before, okay, after, till, until, as, when, as soon as, okay, and if, condition indicating conjunctions, unless. So these are the conjunctions, okay, and the sentence that begins with them is called the subordinating clause. See, the sentence that begins with them is called the subordinate clause. Okay, yes clause means subordinate clause, and the remaining sentence is called a main clause, because the conjunction join two statements, one main clause and one subordinate clause, that you know very well. So therefore, in the main clause, whenever there is simple present, okay, or simple future, okay, and in the subordinate clause beginning with any one of them, there must be used only the simple present, but not simple future. Simple future should not be used, but only simple present should be used. ఎప్పుడైతే మెయిన్ క్లాజ్ లో సింపుల్ ప్రెజెంట్ గాని సింపుల్ ఫ్యూచర్ గాని ఉంటే, వీటితో బిగిన్ అయినటువంటి ఈ సబార్డినేట్ క్లాజ్ లో సింపుల్ ప్రెజెంట్ టెన్సే ఉండవాలి, సింపుల్ ఫ్యూచర్ టెన్స్ ఉండకూడదు. ఎగ్జామ్ లో వాడిస్తాడు, మనం వాటిని తీసేస్తాం. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ వీ డు, రైట్. అండ్ హియర్ యు పే అటెన్షన్. She will come when she will be ready. So when is the conjunction? Where is this? After when, what should be there? Simple present. What is the present tense of will be? Is. Therefore, you say she will come when she is ready. Right. One more example. I shall inform you if he will come home now. So this is a condition indicating conjunction. After this, the sentence is called subordinate clause. This is the subordinate clause. In the subordinate clause, what should be there? Simple present. Whenever there is simple future or simple present in the main clause. So will come should not be used. What should be there? Simple present. If he comes. Very, very important. Very, very important. Right. Now you move on to other rules. Rule 40. At a glance chart of conditional sentences. Very, very important. Please pay a very good attention to this rule. Rule 40. At a glance chart of conditional sentences. Okay, in every conditional sentence, there will be two parts. One is if clause part and the other one is the main clause part. Okay, and you know very well, there are four types of conditional sentences. You know very well. And in the first conditional sentence, that is zero conditional sentence. These conditional sentences will indicate only general truths, okay, general facts and all that. So therefore, in the if clause part of these zero conditional sentences, simple present must be used. In the main clause of them, simple present must be used. In the if clause part, simple present. In the main clause part, simple present. And here you pay attention. If you heat water, simple present. It boils, simple present. It's a certain thing. It's a fact. All general truths, general facts are expressed in the zero conditional sentences. If you heat water, general fact. It boils, right? So here is simple present, here is simple present. Okay. If you touch fire, it burns you. Here simple present, here simple. So this is called zero conditional sentences, right? So in the zero conditional sentences, what happens? In the if clause part, simple present is used. In the main clause part, simple present tense is used. Okay, you go to the next one. Second one, open conditional sentences. Open conditional sentences means simple and ordinary conditional sentences. And in the open conditional sentences, what happens? In the if clause part, there will be simple present. In the main clause part, there will be a sentence with a shall or will or can or may plus base form verb. Any one of them can be in the main clause part. For example, here you see, if it rains, simple present. If clause part, simple present. And in the main clause part, with a shall or will or can or may base form. So we shall postpone our. If it rains, we shall postpone our picnic. Here simple present tense. Here a sentence with shall or will or can or may is there, right? This one more example is given here. If you study harder, simple present tense in the if clause part, and in the main clause part, you will get will plus base form verb. So that is that. So these are the features. You please remember all of them. And now you move on to the remaining two kinds of conditional sentences. And here if clause part and main clause part, here you pay attention. Third one, impossible conditional sentences. Impossible, the name itself is telling you that the conditions are very impossible. Okay, and therefore in the if clause part there will be simple past, and in the main clause part should or would or could or might plus base form verb. Okay, base form verb. Okay, base form verb, right? And here you pay attention. If we flew away, simple past. మేము ఎగిరి వెళ్ళినట్టయితే ఇంపాసిబుల్, ఎగరడమే కుదరదు. కానీ అట్లా అంటుంటాం, ఎగిరి వెళ్ళినట్టయితే వీ కుడ్ రీచ్ దేర్ ఇన్ టైం, మేము అక్కడికి సకాలంలో చేరుకోగలము. ఎగిరి వెళ్ళలేవు, చేరుకోలేవు, రెండు లేవు. సో దేర్ ఫోర్ ఇంపాసిబుల్ కండిషనల్ సెంటెన్సెస్. యూ టేక్ వన్ మోర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. ఇఫ్ ఐ వర్ యూ, ఇఫ్ ఐ వర్, నేను నీవైనట్టయితే, నేను నీ ప్లేస్ లో ఉన్నట్టయితే, దట్స్ ద మీనింగ్. నేను నువ్వైతానా, పోనీ నువ్వు నేనైతానా? నో. సో దిస్ ఇంపాసిబుల్. ఇఫ్ ఐ వర్ యూ, ఐ వుడ్ ప్రపోజ్ టు హర్. అంటే అరే నేనే కనుక నీ ప్లేస్ ఉంటేనారా, అమ్మాయికి అప్పుడే ప్రపోజ్ చేసేవాడిని రా, వీడు ఆ ప్లేస్ నుండి చేయడు, కానీ అట్లా అంటాడు అంతే వాడు. Okay, if I were you, I would propose to her. So here a sentence with would is there, a sentence with could is there, right? And you go to the last kind of conditional sentences, unfulfilled conditional sentences. The condition is not fulfilled, therefore unfulfilled. The condition was not fulfilled means that refers to the past tense only, right? And in the if clause part there will be past perfect. In the main clause part there will be a sentence with should have, would have, could have, might have plus pp, past participle form of the verb and the last form of the verb. And here you pay attention. If she had tried again, ఆమె మళ్ళీ ప్రయత్నించి ఉండినట్టయితే, she would have succeeded, ఆమె విజయం పొంది ఉండేది. ఆమె మళ్ళీ ప్రయత్నించి ఉండలేదు కాబట్టి ఆమె విజయం పొందలేదు. దట్ ఈస్ ద అండర్ మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ సెంటెన్స్. The same sentence can also be recast or rewritten in this way. ఇలా ఇఫ్ లేకుండా కూడా వాడచ్చు. ఇఫ్ తీసేసి దీన్ని ఇన్వర్షన్ లో పెడితే కూడా కరెక్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఇఫ్ అర్థమే వస్తుంది. హ్యాడ్ షీ ట్రైడ్ అగైన్, ఎగ్జామ్ లో, ఇన్ ద ఎగ్జామినేషన్ దే ఆర్ గివింగ్ దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ సెంటెన్సెస్ వెరీ ఫ్రీక్వెంట్లీ. ఓకే, if you want to use if, the sentence must be like this. Okay, if you don't want to use if, then you can say like this, had she tried, she had tried అనే ఈ సెంటెన్స్ ను ఇన్వర్షన్ లో పెట్టాలి. అంటే క్వశ్చన్ లో had she tried again, same meaning, no change at all in the meaning. ఆమె మళ్ళీ ప్రయత్నించినట్టయితే, she would have succeeded. Very good. So please keep these two things in your mind. If I had seen her drowning, నేను ఆమె మునిగిపోతూ ఉండడం చూచి ఉండినట్టయితే, అంటే చూడలేదన్న విషయం ఇంకోటి కింది నుంచి ఇంకో మీనింగ్ వస్తూనే ఉంది. ఐ కుడ్ హ్యావ్ సేవ్డ్ హర్, నేను ఆమెను రక్షించి ఉండేవాడిని, చూడలేదు కాబట్టి రక్షించలేదు. దట్ ఇస్ ద నెట్ మీనింగ్, రైట్? అండ్ ద సేమ్ సెంటెన్స్ కెన్ ఆల్సో బి రీకాస్ట్ ఆర్ రిపీటెడ్ ఇన్ దిస్ వే. హ్యాడ్ ఐ సీన్, ఇఫ్ తీసేసి ఐ హ్యాడ్ సీన్ ఇన్వర్షన్ లో చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది, హ్యాడ్ ఐ సీన్, సేమ్ మీనింగ్. ఇఫ్ ఉంటే ఎలాంటి మీనింగ్ వస్తుంది, అదే మీనింగ్ వస్తుంది. ప్లీజ్, దిస్ ఇస్ అన్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్. Okay, had I seen her drowning, I could have. So here you are using could have, would have plus pp, succeeded, saved. So that's that. So very very important. This is called at a glance chart of conditional sentences. And now let's move on to the other rules. Rule 41, would rather indicates choice or preference. It is always followed by a plain infinitive but not by to infinitive. So would rather is there, it is followed by a plain infinitive. Plain infinitive means a to infinitive without to is called a plain infinitive. So this would rather is followed by a plain infinitive but not by a to infinitive. And here you pay attention, very important from your examination point of view. She would rather to die wrong, to beg wrong. What should be there? She would rather die than beg. ఆమె అడుక్కు తినడము కంటే సావడం మంచిది. And here you pay attention, I would rather to read a novel than to watch that worthless movie. To read, to infinitive, to watch, to infinitive. After would rather, such things should not be there. What must be there? I would rather read a novel than watch that worthless movie. నేను ఆ వర్త్లెస్ మూవీని చూచుట కంటే ఒక నవల చదవడం మంచిది. And this is a very important rule. Now you move on to the next very important rule. Rule 42, transformation of sentences. So here you pay attention, as soon as plus simple past. So in the examination, as soon as plus simple past is given and you are asked to change it into no sooner plus simple past or past perfect inversion than. So the relevant one for this is only this. Okay, and here you pay attention, as soon as she reached Mumbai, As soon as she reached Mumbai, she gave her husband a ring. So this is the as soon as sentence. So when you want to change this into no sooner than sentence, you have to use instead of as soon as, no sooner. Okay. And she reached becomes did she reach inversion. And here or had she reached. Okay, past perfect inversion also you can say. Simple past inversion or past perfect inversion. No sooner did she reach. Don't say don't. No sooner she reached. This straight sentence should not be used here. Only the simple past inversion or past perfect inversion. Anything you have to use. Okay. No sooner did she reach or had she reached Mumbai, than you have to use than she gave her husband a ring. So now this sentence is equivalent in meaning to this sentence. One more example is given here. As soon as he opened the door, the thieves broke into the house. Okay, and it is there. And now you pay attention. No sooner had he opened. This is the simple past, and now he has changed it into past perfect, and he is using the past perfect inversion. No sooner had he opened the door than the thieves broke into the house. So this is called the transformation of sentences. Okay, now you move on to the last but one rule. Rule 43. As soon as plus simple past can be changed into hardly plus past perfect inversion, and when scarcely plus past perfect inversion when. So here I'm not giving you the as soon as sentence, but directly hardly and scarcely sentences I'm giving you here. Hardly or scarcely had the pickpocket seen, past perfect inversion is there. The policeman hardly had the pickpocket seen the policeman. Pickpocket ante జోబి దొంగ పోలీసును చూసిన వెంటనే when he ran away. And with hardly and scarcely when is used, with no sooner than is used. And one more example. Hardly had the plane landed in the airport when we heard a loud explosion. Hardly had the plane landed, past perfect inversion. And when. Okay, right. So another example. Scarcely had she boarded the bus at Dilsukhnagar, ఆమె దిల్సుఖ్ నగర్ వద్ద బస్ ఎక్కిన వెంటనే when some chain snatcher snatched her gold chain. So in this way you can change this as soon as sentence into no sooner than, and from no sooner than you can change it into hardly sentence and scarcely sentence. So these are very important from your examination. Now you move on to learn about the last rule. Rule 44, the last one, past habit expressing words. Past habit expressing words. This is also a very important rule, and here you pay attention. Used to and would. These two are called the past habit expressing words. They are used to indicate past habits. Okay, and here, when I was a young boy, I used to go to college by bicycle. That is correct. I used to go. It is indicating past habit. నేను కాలేజ్ కి బైసికల్ మీద వెళ్తూ ఉండేవాడిని. So you can also say when I was a young boy, I would go to college by bicycle. So whether you can use would or used to, both convey the same meaning for past habit. Okay, you can express the past habit with either of them, with either used to or with would. She used to wake up at 5 in the morning. Used to, you can say. You can also say she would wake up at 5 in the morning. Okay, and here they use it to play football every evening. Okay, and here they would play football every evening. So, and the last one, we use it to dine at a hotel at the weekends. Okay, and we use it to dine at a hotel. So we would dine, sorry, we would dine. We use it to dine means we would dine at a hotel at the weekends. So with this these important rules will come to an end. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hello, dear TGT and PGT candidates. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you cannot understand any of the rules that I have detailed in this video, please make a mention of it in the comment section. I will again explain it for you. And this is the second part of the video. There is no enough time before us. That's why now I am stopping the most important grammar rules video with this only. And with the roundup videos on content, I would be back to you. Until then, bye. See you, all of you.